don't need to work a full 40-hour work week. You don't need to pay us for a full 40-hour work week. A lot of virtual assistants, they will have multiple clients that will equal what they consider full-time for them. And so you might only be working, hiring them for 40 hours a month. So that difference between hiring a virtual assistant versus an employee can on average range, $60,000 a year of savings, which is huge.
Hey, Laptop Freedom Babes, Wonderlust.
This is Hello from Greece.
Hello.
Hello. I am so excited to hop on live here. I'm on Facebook and I am on Instagram. Hello, everyone. I am Rebecca. I am the Wonderlust VA. And I would love for you to say hi. So please pop into the comments a little hello. I can wave to you on Instagram, which I love, and I'm rocking some retro ski gear because it's still really cold where I live. So I'm wearing my jacket indoors. So super, super excited to hop on this live today. I have become an executive contributor to Brains Magazine, which is an online magazine, digital magazine for influential leaders, top entrepreneurs, expert coaches, and all that kind of juicy jazz. So it's a really, really great resource. And I'm so excited to be an executive contributor. What an honor. And if you were following along at all in my Instagram stories, you'll know that today I spent a good chunk of the day writing my first article that I was going to be publishing on the magazine, which is super, super exciting. And I want to share this article with you firsthand, my followers, before it gets published. And then when it does get officially published, you will be the first to know. So what I wrote today for Brains Magazine is 5 reasons why businesses should hire VAs. Now, it's really, really important that as a virtual assistant, you understand your value and your worth and why someone should hire a virtual assistant, not just like wanting to hire a virtual assistant, 5 reasons why they should. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of the reasons here. I'm just checking the comments. Let me know if you're watching and say hi. Super, super excited. So reason number 1 to hire a virtual assistant is a reason that really catches a lot of eyes of business owners, and that is that virtual assistants are cheaper than an employee. So there is a comparison that you can show sort of like directly online, but here is sort of the breakdown of why a contractor, an independent contractor, which are virtual assistants, are less expensive to pay than hiring a full-time employee. So one of the reasons is that virtual assistants do not require benefits to be paid for, and that's health insurance, retirement fund, investment plans, all that kind of stuff. That can range anywhere from like 35% of their rate, which is quite a lot. Virtual assistants also don't require any overhead costs. So examples of overhead is like business space, office space, supplies, equipment, all that kind of stuff. As virtual assistants, we supply that for ourselves. We expense it in our own business. So don't forget to track all of those expenses. And so the company doesn't need to pay that for us. And that can be anywhere from like 50% of their rate. So that's huge. And then the last great thing where you save on expenses when you hire an independent contractor, when you hire a virtual assistant, is that we don't need to work a full 40-hour work week. You don't need to pay us for a full 40-hour work week. A lot of virtual assistants, they will have multiple clients that will equal what they consider full-time for them. And so you might only be working, hiring them for 40 hours a month. So that difference between hiring a virtual assistant versus an employee can on average range, $60,000 a year of savings, which is huge. So reason number one, virtual assistants are more cost benefit to hire for a company than an employee. Pretty cool, hey? Okay, I'm literally like reading the article here. Reason number two is businesses need human power to grow. And if you are following the Wonderlust VA, we like to say businesses need women power to grow. So a lot of businesses are run by one person or just a small team. And literally adding on woman power can lead to exponential growth. So if you think of someone who is working by themselves, they're running their own business solo, if they hire a virtual assistant, that potentially doubles their like human power behind their business. That is huge. Doubles. That takes it to 200%. Mind-boggling, right? So I know that sometimes for business owners, and this is something as a virtual assistant you can help your potential clients learn, is that they are holding themselves back by being the only person working on their business. Hello, Charlotte. I'm going to wave to you. So glad you hopped on. The business growth is capped by how many people are working on it, in addition to automation and all that kind of stuff. But hiring a virtual assistant really does increase your woman power, which helps lead your business to exponential growth. Hello, Lexi. So happy people are hopping on. Okay, reason number three, businesses need to hire a virtual assistant like yesterday, is that business owners need to focus on what they need to focus on. Now, what do I mean by that? So if a CEO of a business is hiring a virtual assistant, then there are certain tasks in their business that really only they can do, and they need to focus their time on that, right? So some examples of like areas and tasks that virtual assistants need to handle are like finance meetings, product creation, vision development, right? Like those are really important areas that the owner of a business should be spending their time, and therefore they can really benefit from hiring a virtual assistant that can handle all the other tasks. So it's really important that CEOs focus on what they need to be doing and only they can do. The other tasks that a virtual assistant could do, it would really benefit them to hand those off so that they can repurpose that energy back into those things that only they can do. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. The fourth reason that clients should be hiring virtual assistants, and again, for people who are just hopping on and watching this, is if you as a virtual assistant understand your value and why potential clients should be hiring you, then it's a lot easier for you to reach out to clients or have discovery calls, really understanding your value, okay? Reason number four is that virtual assistants give precious time back. This kind of really segues into the third point, which is like CEOs and business owners should be focusing on what they have to do. A great analogy that I use for this all the time is like a baker, right? Like a baker has to be baking the cookies. That is literally what they have to be doing. And all the time that they spend doing admin, tech, marketing, design, these tasks that virtual assistants could be doing, they're not spending that time baking cookies, building recipes, all that kind of stuff, right? So point number four is virtual assistants really give back that precious time to the business owner. So I read a statistic, ServiceNow State of Work reports that business owners spend an average of 16 hours a week working on the nitty-gritty, back-end, businessy stuff in their company. That is almost half of a... Oh, my alarm went off. You got a coaching call soon. That is almost half of a 40-hour work week. That's insane. That is so much time spent on tasks that a virtual assistant could be doing. And so not only if those 16 hours was done by someone else, i.e. a virtual assistant, that time could either be repurposed back into the business by the business owner to grow it, or it could be spent hanging out with their family. That is really, really precious time doing things that you don't have to do and someone else could do for you. Is this making sense with you, ladies? Let me know. Okay. The fifth reason that I wrote about in this Brains Magazine article to business owners why they should be hiring a virtual assistant like yesterday is that virtual assistants are full of amazing ideas. We are. We just are. It is crucial and really invaluable to be able to brainstorm and bounce ideas off of someone else. So a good virtual assistant will hop into their client's company and business and learn it and love it as much as their client does. But they also bring another perspective and a different set of skills. So it's really valuable to just have someone to be bouncing ideas off of, have a strategy session with, be brainstorming so that you're not having CEO block and not being able to unlock any creative potential growth ideas for your company. So this can get a bit wishy-washy in virtual assistants, right? Because there are some virtual assistants around the world that you never talk to. They might be working in a country where English isn't their first language, or they are a virtual assistant working for like $5 an hour, and in fact, you never talk to them. And you never have meetings with them, nothing. That is one potential route that a company or CEO can take. But what they're really, really missing out on is hiring and working with a high quality virtual assistant, someone who is growth orientated, that they can trust and has similar values as them, and understands their market, speaks their language, is in probably a closest time zone, whatever it is, and you can have meetings with them where you are bouncing ideas off of them, brainstorming, and really using them as a resource or a potential like sounding board to be unlocking areas of growth in your business. Virtual assistants, I know from experience, know their clients' businesses almost more than their client does because they are elbow deep in the nitty-gritty back end part of their business. They are like all hands on deck helping out. So they really understand your business. And so when the client, when the CEO, the business owner is having like a vision block or wants to expand, what better person to start bouncing ideas off of than someone who really understands how their business works, right? So those are the 5 reasons that I wrote in an article that I just submitted to Brains Magazine as an executive contributor, was the 5 reasons that businesses need to be hiring VAs like yesterday. So the first is that VAs are way more cost efficient than an employee. Businesses need human power to grow. That's just a reality. My third reason is that businesses should be focusing on CEOs need to be focusing on the CEO stuff that only they can be doing. And that really leads into my 4th point, which virtual assistants get your precious time back to you. That's not how I wrote it, of course. Give your precious time back. And virtual assistants are full of amazing ideas. Hello, Nikki. So glad to see you here. So, like I said, as a virtual assistant, if you understand why you're valuable, if you understand your worth, then you can be going into discovery calls with potential clients that A, have maybe perhaps never hired a virtual assistant before. That's a thing. Or B, they have hired a virtual assistant before, and you can be going into that discovery call and having a conversation with them, understanding why hiring you is hugely beneficial for them and their business. That also really helps when it comes to setting your prices and designing your packages. Trust me, the amount of money you think you are considering to charge per hour is good enough. Like, it is It could probably even go higher. That's how valuable you are as a virtual assistant. So I have submitted this article to Brains Magazine, and when it gets published, it should be published in the next couple days. I will share with you guys and let you know, and I'm super, super excited to see this one get published because the more people know about virtual assistants and why we are so cool, the better it is for us. Okay, bye!